Trump just got schooled by Nigeria. India, the world's third largest oil consumer, was supposed to cave under his brutal tariffs. Instead, they locked in 2 million barrels from Lagos and told Trump to find another consumer. What happens next rewrote the rules of global energy forever. 2 weeks ago, Indian Oil Corporation faced a choice. Trump's team hit them with 50% tariff, basically saying, drop the Russian oil and buy from us instead. Classic Trump move. Squeeze hard, expect people to fold. But India's state refiners did something unexpected. They completely skipped U.S. crude and locked in 2 million barrels from Nigeria. Now, this wasn't really about oil. It was about respect. Now, when you have 1.4 billion people behind you, the consequences go far beyond what anyone expects. When is the last time Nigeria actually won one of these big moves against a superpower? When is the last time any African country got to call the shots instead of just reacting? And Trump's team is figuring out how their pressure campaign blew up. What I'm about to show you reveals why this single oil deal might be the biggest power move Africa has made in decades. But first, we need to see why Trump's playbook completely failed. Trump's approach was simple economic warfare. His people hit India with brutal tariff, started at 25%, then doubled to 50%. The message was clear. Stop buying Russian oil or we will wreck your economy. Peter Navarro even called it Modi's war, basically accusing India of funding Putin's invasion. The insult was intentional.
And then the taxpayers lose because we got to fund Modi's war, okay? Through New Delhi. Modi's war.
But here's where Trump made a big mistake. He assumed India was like other small countries who caved earlier. Japan, South Korea, the Europeans, they all came to Washington and gave into pressure. But India had different plans. You know what they say in Nigeria? The tree that refuses to bend in the storm often has the deepest roots. India's roots go 1.4 billion people deep. Instead of buying Trump's crude, Indian Oil Corporation went for Nigerian oil and Middle Eastern supplies. The message was clear. We will buy from whoever gives us the best deal. Now, most people missed the real story. Nigerian crude is actually perfect for Indian refineries. Low sulfur, great for making gasoline and diesel. Plus, India has been buying from Nigeria since 2005. This relationship has real history and trust. But here's where it gets even crazy. While India was making deals with Nigeria, guess what Trump's team was doing behind closed doors? They were trying to get their own energy deals with Russia. Trump's guy, Steve Witkoff, met Putin twice. Once in Moscow, then at an Alaska summit. American companies wanted back in Russian oil projects. ExxonMobil was eyeing Russia's big projects. They discussed equipment deals. Wait, what? Trump punishes India for buying Russian oil, then secretly negotiates with Moscow? This wasn't about stopping Russia. This was about control. If you are from Africa, you've seen this before. Big powers demanding loyalty while doing whatever benefits them. Except this time, the ending was different. Nigeria just became a major player in global energy. When the world's third largest consumer picks you over Trump's America, that's serious validation. For decades, African oil was the backup choice. We will buy from you only when the major suppliers aren't available. India's move changed that script completely. Suddenly, Nigeria's oil isn't second choice. Other big countries are paying attention. China, Turkey, Brazil. They're asking if India can say no to Trump and win. Why there is an African saying, when the roots of a tree decay, it spreads death to the branches. Trump's energy dominance is showing cracks. Africa is getting stronger. What's happening underneath reveals something bigger about the future. Now, this goes way beyond oil. Trump just handed China its biggest victory in years. For decades, the US strategy was simple: keep India close to counter China's rise. Now Trump's pressure is pushing India straight into China's arms. That means a stronger, more determined BRICS alliance. Economist Richard Wolff said it perfectly.
It's because alternative measures to break India away from the BRICS didn't work that they're trying this.
Now that sounds like a declining empire, not a confident superpower. Now here's what most people don't realize. Nigeria is not just selling oil to India. They are benefiting from technological transfer from Indian companies. Real partnership, not just business. You see, Trump offered threats. Nigeria offered partnership. Now this is creating effects Trump never saw coming, and it's making BRICS much more stronger. Now this decision is changing how oil flows worldwide. Angola is making more oil for Asian markets. Libya is talking to Indian refiners. West Africa is building partnerships with the South. India's finance minister was clear: we will continue to buy from whoever gives us the best deal. No apologies. That's economic independence. And once that starts, it's hard to stop. If a country of 1.4 billion people can tell Trump no and come out ahead, what does that tell about his influence everywhere? What does it mean for Africa's future? The answer is changing everything. Sure, Nigeria's currency had problems, but their strategic position just got way stronger to being the preferred choice for the world's fastest major economy. And here's the funny part. Trump's sanctions on Russia was supposed to isolate Moscow. Instead, they created new partnerships and trade routes. India and Nigeria are connected by modern oil deals. They are connected by standing up to Trump's pressure and winning. It's like David and Goliath. Big guys think size guarantees victory. They forget being huge just makes you a bigger target. This shows something important about how power is changing. The era of you are either with us or against us is over. Countries are choosing path based on what works for them. Brazil picked China for trade. India picked Nigeria for oil. Turkey picked Russia for gas. Each choice weakens Trump's control. And here's what worries Trump's strategists. If developing countries work together against his pressure, if they build alternative trade systems, that's exactly how empires end. Not with wars, but with economic partnerships between nations that refuse to be bullied. For Nigeria, this moment goes far beyond money. Now, this proves that Africa can be a destination of choice, not desperation. The Dangote refinery is processing more Nigerian crude. Indian companies are investing in Nigerian infrastructure. Technology flows both ways. This is African success in action, not just speeches about unity, but real partnerships creating wealth. Nigeria didn't need to change their whole government to become a strategic partner. They just offered real value. That's a lesson for the whole continent and a reality check for power. powers playing by old rules. Trump made a classic mistake. He assumed pressure would force India to choose between America and Russia. He never thought India may choose Nigeria. It's like a chess player focused on the big pieces, missing the small piece about to win the game. Professor Richard Wolff called Trump's approach desperate. Those 50% tariff on India? Pure show. What's the alternative? Punish a fifth of humanity? India's population is 1/5 of the world's population. Trump's team thought they could bully India like smaller countries. They forgot India has options. One happens to be Africa's largest economy. This shows exactly how the new rules work. Now, the new rules are completely different. It's not about the biggest militaries or most punishments. It's about who offers the best partnerships. Trump offered threats. Nigeria offered opportunities. Trump demanded loyalty. Nigeria provided value. Trump played the old game. Nigeria played the new one. The result? A partnership making both countries stronger while weakening Trump's influence in two important regions. The global south isn't just rising, it's here with its own rules. So what happens next is other African producers will copy Nigeria's success. Angola, Libya, even smaller producers will go after Asian buyers more aggressively. India will build greater ties across Africa. Energy partnerships will grow into technology, infrastructure, defense cooperation. A new global order is being built, one barrel at a time. Trump must decide, compete on merit or keep trying threats. The threat book just failed against India. The question isn't whether Trump can adapt, it's whether he will adapt fast enough to stay relevant. There is a deeper truth here. So, this story was never about oil, it was about respect. India refused to be treated like a junior partner. Nigeria refused to be treated like a backup option. Together, they showed the world the old rules don't work. Trump's people laughed when Nigeria's currency had problems, thinking chaos meant opportunity for American influence. They forgot crisis can lead to transformation. Nigeria didn't just survive economic challenges, they used them to build partnerships with countries that respect them. That's not weakness, it's smart strategy. So next time someone tells you Africa is just there for aid or resources, remember this story. Remember how Nigeria turned Trump's pressure into Indian partnership, how crisis became opportunity, how respect beat dominance. The global chessboard is being redrawn. Africa isn't watching from the sidelines. They are moving pieces, making alliances, changing the game. Are you paying attention to the moves that actually matter? The next game-changing partnership might be forming while old powers fight yesterday's wars. In this world, respect beats pressure, partnership beats dominance. Sometimes the best move is the one nobody sees coming. What do you think the next move would be? Let me know in the comment section. I'm Asungwed Luis. See you in my next investigation. Bye.